Now, let's hop over to the other side of the world for a tried and true design from Japan. We usually think of Japanese cars as innovative with all of the latest technology. Actually, the Orientals have been a bit slower than you might think in moving to front-wheel drive for their smallest models. And the smaller the car, the more important space-saving front drive becomes. But what do you know? Toyota's tiniest U.S. offering, the mini compact Starlet, still has an aging rear-drive design. I guess Toyota feels that as a commuter car, the Starlet's simple mission warrants the simplest system. Well, does that mean that what we've come to regard as a has-been design can still draw crowds? Well, for one review, let's visit a Starlet that's ready for action.
Toyota Starlet, take one.
Did we say aging design? Well, maybe the design is getting on, but there's nothing old-fashioned about this Starlet's face. A smart bit of cosmetic surgery for 83 has been performed. A very contemporary grille and marker lights grace the same basic two-box shape that entered our shores near Tinseltown 2 years ago. Its trim looks and flawless fit and finish go a long way in showing why this Scarlet Starlet gets a lot of fan mail from around the world. But our leading lady here isn't just all looks and no brains. Another addition for 83 is an improved wagon-like hatch that provides as low a liftover cargo sill as you can find on any car at any price. But you do pay for the Starlet's small shape in luggage capacity. Our 4 bags would not fit unless the rear seat was lowered. Now that will provide a good-sized, nearly flat floor for up to 2 vacationers. But you want the Starlet as a commuter car? Well, unfortunately, here's where the rear drive hurts. The Starlet seems to have far less people space than many more up-to-date competitors. Front seat occupants do okay, though the steering wheel is placed so low that our testers felt like they were driving a go-kart. In the rear, where 2 office comrades are likely to light, they'll find barely adequate legroom, and they may get a crick in their necks from the lack of height. Let's hope your commutes aren't very long. On the other hand, Toyota has removed some of that cramped feeling by ordering a totally new dash design that would fit a much bigger, more upmarket car. It looks great. You get such standard items as an anti-glare hood, temperature gauge, and large tachometer. Rivals usually feature blank open space and idiot lights. Now that tack will come in handy to master the best shift points for the also small 1.3-liter Slant 4. The engine is small enough to leave enough under-hood room for the mechanic to crawl in beside it. Fuel injection has been added for 83, as well as a standard 4-speed to meet California emission requirements. Our car had the much-preferred 5-speed available elsewhere, and made good, if notchy, use of all 58 horsepower. But even noting the Starlet's ultralight weight of only 1,800 pounds, a 0 to 60 time of 14.5 seconds is at the poorer end of our average range. And while we also found a passing time of 7 seconds much slower than we'd like, the Starlet's bottom-end power performance, just where you want it to merge into traffic, was very respectable. A 500-foot on-ramp time of 10.1 seconds at 51 miles per hour. Now, our car did not have the optional air conditioning system that would no doubt significantly reduce performance. Of course, though, we expect the tiny 30-foot turning diameter to remain intact. It's so small that it was possible to actually swing inside the tightest circle made by our mid-size Ranger pickup. But for freeway dodgem wars, the Starlet doesn't handle quite as well. Actually, the manual rack and pinion steering system was quite light and quick, but soft springs produced too much front-end plow, and the skinny high-mileage tires couldn't handle all the flex of the suspension. In general, I'd say that the Starlet handles somewhere in the middle of its competition. Worse than the Honda Civic, but better than the Nissan Sentra. But in another area where small tires could have caused problems, the Starlet regained its star power. Braking was very good. Panic stops from 30 were accomplished in an average of 39 feet with absolutely no fade over the 6 tries. From 55, results were in the short range with an average of only 125 feet. Now, pedal pressure was good throughout. There was some grabbing, but it lessened as the very new power-assisted front disc rear drums wore in. That newness, less than 150 miles on the odometer on delivery, also produced some unusually low mileage results. The EPA rates the 5-speed Starlet at a sipping 44 city 57 highway. Our MotorWeek 100-mile urban loop produced a less stellar 42. We have little doubt that a common commuting result of about 50 would eventually greet most owners. And where such frugality meant scrimping on sound insulation and thus an only average result of 72 decibels at 55 miles per hour, the Starlet makes up for this and more in price. The base Starlet costs $5,798. Our car with the better gearbox is only $100 more. Not the cheapest car you can buy, but still a reasonable value, particularly when you consider mileage and Toyota's reputation for quality. And that's how we'll end this Starlet screen test. Despite the seemingly unmodern rear-wheel design, this mini compact has a lot of merits. It's a little too small for our taste, but should be simple to repair, making the Starlet, Toyota's gift to the American commuter, a reliable star you can surely bank on.